doing my act. It was like comics descended on it or something, like, because it was a crowd-pleasing act, and it was like I would sit at the back of the Comedy Store in the main room, and comics would walk by me while certain comics were on stage doing my act, and they'd go, "Your act is killing, man." You know, and I'd see people getting standing ovations with my act, you know, and it was scary. It's scary, but you know, this has been the way it's been all the way along. It's like those times in life when you're terrified are the mastery times. And then I started back doing stand-up, and I told myself I wouldn't repeat a word I said the night before. So I'd go up on stage every night and not repeat anything I said before, and just try to create it in front of them. And a third of the time it was really beautiful and creative and brilliant, and it was like being, you know, on drugs or something. It was just fantastic, like on fire. You're in the groove, you know.
C'est alors qu'il commence à fréquenter Melissa Womer, une serveuse du Comedy Store. Jim et Melissa se marient en 1987 et Melissa donne naissance à une petite fille, Jane, plus tard dans la même année. Jim doit dorénavant assumer ses obligations familiales, mais la question pour lui n'est pas de savoir si son rêve de percer dans le milieu est réaliste, mais bien de savoir quand il se réalisera.
Did you really write a $10 million check?
Yeah, that was when I'd been in Los Angeles for a while. I'd been working the comedy clubs, and I started. I decided that, you know, even if I don't have it, it feels better to just say that I do. I used to go up to Mulholland Drive every night and sit there and look over the city and just state what I believed I had, or what I wanted to have. But I did it in the present moment as if it existed. And suddenly I would just feel this kind of overwhelming sense of bliss, you know, that these things existed. I would basically brainwash myself. And then I would drive down the mountain feeling like I owned the world. And I lived in a single apartment with, you know, Jane in a basket across the floor with the mattress on the floor counting pennies with my first wife, you know. But I, you know, that was every night after doing the comedy clubs. I'd go up there and do that ritual. And one of the things I did was make a check out to myself, post-dated for Thanksgiving 1995. $10 million for Jim Carrey for acting services rendered. And it wasn't about the money. It was about where you would be if you were making that money. At that time, that was the big number, and that means you're up in the top tier. So I put that in my wallet, and I had it in my wallet for 4 years.
Son optimisme lui sera d'un grand secours lors des moments les plus difficiles. Le destin semble toujours lui réserver des surprises, comme sa rencontre avec Jimmy Stewart.
I saw him doing a Bible reading in a church, and it was the best lesson I could ever have had, because I've never been starstruck since. I was like a sick lunatic coming out of the crowd at him, like I had assimilated his personality. I became Zelig, you know. I was like, Jimmy, you are my greatest inspiration. And I was like, I broke a commandment, you know, right in the church, you know, about idolatry and stuff, and I walked out of the place. He just got embarrassed. He turned red and walked away. And now I walked out of the church going, oh, I don't know what commandment that was, but I broke it, definitely. That was like immediate. My karma's immediate. It's unbelievable.
Après la pause, la rencontre de deux futures stars.
I knew her when she had 2 of those butts.
Et plus tard, une exclusivité.
Thank you very much.
À la fin des années 80, Jim est marié et père d'une petite fille et fait régulièrement des apparitions dans les cabarets.
So how about the economy?
I knew Jim back in the days when he came to the Improv and the Comedy Store and blew everyone's doors off. He lit us up, but nobody knew how to use him. Nobody knew what to do with this amazing talent.
Jim décroche des rôles dans des films dont Peggy Sue Got Married et Earth Girls Are Easy. C'est lors du tournage de ce dernier film qu'il rencontre Damon Wayans. Damon recommande Jim à son frère Keenan Ivory Wayans, qui travaille sur une émission d'humour pour un nouveau réseau de télévision, Fox. L'émission s'intitule In Living Color.
Oh, geez! Oh, right in the eye! Come on!
Le producteur Brian Grazer rencontre Jim Carrey au cours d'une représentation de bienfaisance.
And he was introduced as the new white guy. And he just had to go up cold in front of like 3,000 people. and perform, and there was no context. People at that time didn't really know who Jim Carrey was, but he was incredibly funny. I didn't quite get it entirely, but once I saw him on In Living Color, then it all coalesced.
I am the white guy.
The white guy.
I am a white dude. A lot of people did, said that and stuff like that, but it was so beyond fair and cool and awesome to be there, and they allowed me to do a lot of amazing creative stuff.
Did you know J-Lo then?
I did.
You knew her
course.
then?
Yeah. I knew her when she had 2 of those butts. No, I'm kidding. I'm terrible. That's awful.
Jim a l'occasion de faire connaître son talent d'acteur dramatique dans le téléfilm Doing Time on Maple Drive, réalisé par Ken Olin. Jim y incarne un jeune alcoolique.
Ken Olin had no idea what I did or anything, and so he cast me in this dramatic role. He said if he had known my work from In Living Color, he had never seen In Living Color, he wouldn't have hired me. That just goes to show you the prejudices, man.
Olin ne connaît peut-être pas le travail de Jim, mais le monde de la comédie, lui, ne peut plus l'ignorer. Jim gagne en popularité grâce à In Living Color et en 1992, on lui offre son propre spécial télévisé. Malheureusement, la mère de Jim décède avant que l'émission spéciale ne soit diffusée. Jim continue de trimer dur et impressionne toujours les téléspectateurs avec les personnages bizarroïdes qu'il incarne dans In Living Color.
There was no retreat zone for me. I wasn't going back to Toronto to work in a factory. So I just kept it up and kept creative, and then In Living Color boosted me.
I'd watch Jim on In Living Color, from Vera de Milo to the preach character to Fire Marshal Bill, and he just stole every scene he was in.
Let's just say it's after dinner, you've got a fork in your hand, somebody says, hey, I've got delicacies. Where?
That explosiveness that you see in a Fire Marshal Bill really was the inspiration for Ace Ventura.
I think you're right, Genevieve.
Ace Ventura was not like the gift from God when I got it. It was like, okay, here's a story about a pet detective, and that I liked. But the script just was like, we started from page 1.
I would work during the day and bring our stuff over to Jim at night, and he had done a full day, and he would write till 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
5 hours of writing after we'd finished the In Living Color stuff. Well, okay, it was 4 hours of writing and an hour of putting our genitals on the Xerox machine.
Well, I was not there for the genital photocopying.
I said, this is just such a ridiculous thing that, I'll write it, but I don't want to have to do it. I write it, and I don't like it or whatever. So I just fell in love with it as I was doing it.
Jim had this character he did when he went on stage. Thanks for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you.
So I'd come out and say, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and how are you this evening? All righty then.
And we decided to try it like that, and the whole script came to life.
We were scared out of our minds every day. Tom and I were like, this is it. It's going to build a following and be some kind of cult weird thing, or we'll be over forever. The thing he did before that was Frankenstein the College Years. So it was like, that would have been the 1-2 punch for him.
That's
man.
Worse than Club Med. That really sounds worse.
Yeah, can you get some of that?
Après la pause, le moment décisif.
I just went, oh my God, something happened here just now.
Et plus tard, Jim ne laisse pas indifférent.
I was scared to say hi to him because I was afraid of what I'd get.
Durant 5 ans, Jim Carrey est le petit blanc hilarant dans In Living Color. En 1994, le rêve de Jim se réalise enfin lorsqu'il fait ses débuts au grand écran dans Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Loser.
That night at the premiere, when the curtain went down after credits came on and people went crazy, and I just went, oh my God, something happened here just now. Things have changed. It was immediate. It was like that moment I knew things had changed.
It was just that time. It was that time when the universe said, son, get ready for the ride.
You became a big movie star. You became Jim Carrey, exclamation point.
Boy.
No, you
really?
did. 15 months you had Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber.
Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber et The Mask réunis font des entrées de plus de 300 millions de dollars et consacrent la célébrité de Jim Carrey. Si la carrière de Jim se porte à merveille, Son mariage, lui, bat de l'aile. Pendant le tournage d'Ace Ventura, Jim et son épouse se séparent. Le divorce sera prononcé quelques mois plus tard. Jim se lance dans le travail. Il incarne le Sphinx dans Batman Forever et tourne Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls.
He was taking phone calls from, everyone in town. He was going to work with, everyone who he'd ever dreamed about working with, directors and actors, and it was his time.
Jim Carrey récolte enfin les fruits de son travail. Il pourrait encaisser plus d'une fois le chèque de 10 millions de dollars qu'il s'était un jour destiné. Malheureusement, au moment où son rêve devient réalité, Jim pleure la perte de son père. Il apporte le fameux chèque aux obsèques.
And why did you want to put it in your dad's shirt pocket?
It was his dream, too, Yeah. It was a good thing.
Yeah.
A good thing.
It's nice. Nice
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, it's nice. But that's the way my life has been,
Right. Your dad got to see some of your success.
Yeah.
What do you think he would have thought of all of this?
Oh, I just think, my whole family is just constantly like, wow, it's like a dream, It's unbelievable what's happened,
Écoutons Lucy Belvedere, l'ancienne enseignante de Jim.
I go to the movies and I picture that classroom. I think of him as that little boy and I still go, wow, isn't this something? Like, good for you, Jim. With the difficulties that there were in his life, little did I know what a great star he was going to be at that time.
Le succès et l'attention médiatique vont de pair.
I swear to God, every article that I do in a newspaper or a magazine, generally I'm besmirched by, left-handed compliments and things like that. They're a little strange because writers, they just are born to look for the whatever controversy and negativity might lie underneath or the questions and whatever it is. It's a difficult thing because you're subject to their opinion of your feelings or their opinion of how you were or how you took your glasses off when you sat down. But, I think I've been treated fairly.
What about things you'd prefer to keep private?
It's a weird thing because the tabloids and things like that, paparazzi, that whole deal, if you cut to the chase, it's the people who hire me to do movies who are, basically eating their own young. But it's because they're all owned by the same people. So, but it does make, Hollywood glamorous. I get all that. When I'm out with my daughter and somebody starts taking pictures, it is rude and it is not kind and it is very predatory. But it's never going to ruin my day. I don't think they've treated me badly, though, honestly, overall. I don't have a really controversial life,
La carrière de Jim suscite tout de même la controverse lorsque celui-ci récolte 20 millions de dollars pour The Cable Guy. La comédie sombre ne correspond pas aux attentes du public et constitue le premier échec, pour ainsi dire, de la carrière de Jim. Après la pause, révélation de Hollywood.
Someday I may lop an ear off, just for fun.
Mais d'abord,
You wonder why his head didn't become a cantaloupe and splatter on the floor.
en 1996, Jim est une superstar. Touche 20 millions de dollars par film, a plusieurs méga-succès à son actif et fréquente Lauren Holly, avec qui il partageait la vedette de Dumb and Dumber. Jim est si connu que certaines de ses répliques sont désormais intégrées dans la culture populaire.
Alrighty then, that one is the biggest one.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
Jim travaille de nouveau avec le réalisateur d'Ace Ventura, Tom Shadyac, pour le tournage de Liar Liar.
If it's possible to be more dedicated. On Ace, we didn't have a lot of time, so we were pretty much done after take 7. On Liar Liar, we often would go into 20 takes and more. He'd created himself kind of a safety net, and so he worked even harder.
One of the greatest set pieces is when he goes in the bathroom, beats himself up. It basically just said Jim Carrey goes in the bathroom, beats himself up. And there were no details. He created every detail.
There's a moment when Jim hits his head on the bathroom floor. Play this for your audience. And that's the real sound of Jim's head hitting the floor. We didn't add anything in post. And that's his gift. You wonder why his head didn't become a cantaloupe and splatter on the floor. He's gifted.
All of the energy, the flailing around, and every little bit was something that he thought of.
Cette scène était soigneusement planifiée, mais dans la vraie vie, Jim laisse une grande place à l'improvisation.
At an award show one time, there was the People's Choice where we won the People's Choice Award for Liar Liar. I hugged Jim Carrey on stage, and he hugged me, and he realized, oh, I can lift you up. So he lifted me up, put me on the podium, and then started humping me in front of, I don't know how many millions of people there are, you know, and so he's very strong and very capable of doing anything.
Jim épouse l'actrice Lauren Holly en 1997, mais leur mariage durera moins d'1 an.
You think you'll ever get married again?
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I think I will be very careful. I'm even careful in relationships. So it's like, you know, it's not something that I take lightly now. You know, you know, yeah, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm not sure if it works anymore. I'm not, you know, that
because of work and because.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going for the brass ring, and when everybody's going for the brass ring, you know, it's there's a great U2 song. It goes, a woman needs a man like a fish needs a basketball when she's trying to throw her arms around the world. And it goes both ways, you know? So it's tough.
Jim veut élargir ses horizons. Il met la comédie de côté et tente de faire connaître son talent d'acteur dramatique en tenant le rôle principal dans The Truman Show. Dans ce film, la vie du personnage qu'il incarne est télévisée à toute heure du jour et de la nuit.
It's a drama. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing a drama, okay?
Noah Emmerich est un des acteurs de The Truman Show.
This was Jim's first foray sort of into the non-comedic leading man role, and so everyone sort of said, my God, Jim Carrey is going to be crazy, he's going to be insane, you know, and people think, was he just crazy all the time, you know, but he's not. He's a normal guy. I mean, abnormally talented, but very normal on set.
La prestation de Jim dans The Truman Show lui vaut un Golden Globe. En 1999, non seulement Jim incarne-t-il Andy Kaufman dans Man on the Moon, il adopte aussi la personnalité du défunt humoriste.
You did an audition tape?
I did, yeah. Yeah, that was odd because, you know, everybody told me, don't do an audition tape, man. That's not a good thing for, you know, somebody who's already known to be doing and stuff. And I just went, well, I don't have to send it if I don't like it, you know. But it turned out really cool. And I don't even know if they have that. Maybe you could get that.
Nous avons ces images. Et les voici pour la première fois à la télévision.
Well, hello there. First of all, let me just say, I am not Andy Kaufman.
Take my wife, please, take her.
No, wait. I am only bullying.
I just went around the house doing different aspects of Andy's character. Every character, you learn something about yourself by doing it. There's an honesty level that you can get to where even if it appears kind of abrasive, people appreciate it. They appreciate honesty.
I was making a movie on the lot at the same time Jim was doing Andy Kaufman. I was scared to say hi to him because I was afraid of what I'd get, you know?
You want to raffle me?
He was so committed to the character that he wouldn't break character.
Thank you very much.
Jim remporte le Golden Globe du meilleur acteur masculin pour son rôle dans Man on the Moon. Le prochain film qu'il tourne est Me, Myself and Irene. Les critiques applaudissent ce retour de Jim à la comédie.
He just started out doing comedies and was very successful at it, so probably people just go, well, give me another one of those, you know? As a leading man in drama, he has enormous amount of innocence, which compels audiences to live inside of you, which is the ultimate goal for a leading man.
Après la pause, mesdames, méfiez-vous.
I want to spawn all over the planet.
Et plus tard, le souci de la perfection façon Jim Carrey.
It was horrible for him.
Jim Carrey gagne le public grâce à son humour unique. Il fait ensuite connaître ses talents d'acteur dramatique dans plusieurs films, avant d'incarner un personnage classique des contes pour enfants, The Grinch.
Gaze into the face of fear.
When I did The Grinch, I used to think about this because there was a lot of discomfort involved with The Grinch.
It could be like 4 hours putting the makeup on and then an hour and a half taking it off. The thing that was the hardest about The Grinch is he insisted on wearing big, thick contact lenses like the size of Frisbees in his eyes to make his eyes green. And we said to him, you know, we can do this digitally. He said, no, no, no. And it was horrible for him.
I would try to think of positive reasons why I was going through it, and the kids were the number one, that, you know, that they were going to see The Grinch come to life.
The guy was willing to do anything except take a shortcut.
Le jeu en vaut la chandelle. The Grinch rapporte plus de 250 millions de dollars aux États-Unis seulement. Jim participe ensuite au film The Majestic. Ce film ne connaîtra pas le succès espéré. En 2003, l'équipe qui a donné vie à Ace Ventura et à Liar Liar se retrouve.
And Bruce Almighty, it must have been kind of like old school
It
with
was
these
fantastic.
guys.
It's the old gang, you know, the late night gang from In Living Color, you know, at 4 in the morning writing Ace Ventura when we were supposed to be doing other things. It's like sleeping.
The process on Ace and the process on Bruce were almost identical. Yeah, you have a little more time, and yes, there's someone to bring you water, but the process is exactly the same. A couple guys sitting in a room and saying, what's funny? What's really funny?
I used to, you know, do a routine in my act about, you know, if I were Jesus, that the Bible would be a completely different story. You know, I'd be up on the cross, you know, cursing people and stuff like that. Wait till my father hears about this, you know, that kind of thing. So it fits right into my comedy.
And this is a return also for you to that physical comedy, which everybody loves seeing you in.
I love being creative, period. You know, I never try to, you know, focus on an audience or anything. I do exactly what I feel like doing in the moment, you know. You know, someday I may lop an ear off, you know, just for fun. No, you know, I just really go with the flow and whatever I feel creatively. If I feel like doing something dramatic, I do dramatic, and if I feel like doing comedy, which I did, it felt so good to do it. It was great.
I woke up this morning and I felt like my boobs were bigger. I mean, do they look bigger to you?
What? No. Bigger.
Oh, come on! Look at them! Please, they are definitely bigger. I mean, look, they feel huge to me.
I love the idea of the character who's suddenly empowered beyond belief, you know, and completely misuses it. So I like that concept. Bedroom?
5 minutes. He's brilliant pretty much from the get-go. I don't think he knows how good he is right off the bat.
Jim a fréquenté plusieurs de ses co-vedettes, mais ses 2 divorces ont quelque peu freiné ses ardeurs.
I'm a single guy who's, you know,
Not dating
works
anybody?
really hard. I'm dating.
Okay.
I'm dating.
But is that hard, though? I mean, if you want to keep something private...
It's hard for them,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, it's hard because unless you feel like you know, you might kind of like be serious about somebody, you don't want to be like showing up everywhere with them. So it's not the dating process is not normal generally for me.
La figure féminine stable dans la vie de Jim est sa fille Jane.
She's now, I guess, 16, I think, 15, 16. Really super smart about music. Jim is also really smart, encyclopedic about music.
He's a great dad. I mean, he loves her to death, and I think, you know, he's a really committed, devoted father. He's really proud of her and loves her.
Is Janie interested in going into the entertainment business?
She is, yeah. She's an amazing singer, really good. Yeah.
And are you going to encourage that?
She has the potential to be really, really good. Yeah. I'm sure it will. Sure. She's into jazz, so I take her to jazz clubs. You know, she came to New York to visit me, and we went to Harlem and to the Lenox Lounge and places like that. They were so cool, and she was just like, I'm in the Billie Holiday booth, you know, like that, kind of just freaking out. And it was so fun. But I did that with my father. I think every parent should, like, you know, just kind of lurk in the shadows and wait till they see what their kid sits down and really loves doing.
Have you thought about having more kids, or?
Sure. I'd have a couple more if I get the chance. I want to spawn all over the planet. Woo! I want to leave my row in every corner of civilization. Now, that's an odd way to think of it, huh? Roe. That's why they call it Roe versus Wade, right?
Yeah.
It's all about eggs.
Toujours aussi blagueur. En fait, quand nous lui avons demandé des photos pour cette émission, Jim nous a donné ses photos de lui prises chez le dentiste. C'est l'attitude positive de Jim qui l'aide et qui nous aide à continuer de rire.
I love my life. I love what I do. I have beautiful friends. I have the sweetest daughter on the planet. And I'm really happy, really happy.
What do you think people would be most surprised about you, Jim Carrey?
That I'm not always going for the joke. You know, I kind of learned at a certain point, it's kind of sad to just be the guy who's sitting there waiting to go for the joke all the time. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy. I want to be funny, you know, when it's cool to be funny, because that, I feel, is my job in the universe, you know? But I don't need to be that all the time.
The public just sees the very funny side of Jim Carrey, but underneath that, he's extremely intelligent, he's very well thought out, he's extremely well rehearsed.
He's a good guy. I know that sounds cliched, and it will probably never make your show. But if you really want to tell people about the truth about Jim, he's a good guy.
He's already become legendary in cinema history. I mean, his style of comedy, his execution of comedy, there's no one like it. And I have a 3.5-year-old son who already knows 3 Jim Carrey movies.
People come up to me and they say, my kid watches your movies 20 times in a row. You know, it's like I can say all the words, you know, and then there's adults who watch The Truman Show and come up to me and you know, I'm looking forward to maybe when I'm 70 years old, there are going to be like 40-year-old people coming up to me going, I grew up with you. I grew up with The Grinch. I grew up with, you know, Ace and all these things. That's what I look forward to that, you know? I really do. I just want to have the most eclectic, wild box set that you could ever possibly imagine
You're
at the
on
end
your
of it
way.
all. Yeah, absolutely. Because I live in a cave.
Stop it. This is what's going to be hard.
What?
Because I know you're going to goof on me the whole
I'm
time.
not goofing. I'm
Okay,
serious.
you're
Completely
serious.
serious.
But do you ever
Deadly serious. Shawshank Redemption. This is just how I test. Shawshank Redemption. It's my favorite movie title to say.
How do you feel? I mean, how have you...
Say it again, baby! Say it again with feeling! No, please leave that in.
How have you
You can leave that
felt
in, right?